Saar 6 class. The Israeli fleet includes Saar 6 class corvette warships, a notable improvement over the Saar 5 class ships. These new vessels are larger and equipped with the latest technology to ensure the safety of Israel's shipping lanes and offshore gas fields. Each ship, weighing almost 2,000 tons, is equipped with 20 systems, 18 of which are made in Israel itself, specifically for these vessels. These systems include a fully customized version of the Iron Dome system, referred to as the Sea Dome. Additionally, these ships feature the Gabriel 5 and LRAD missile systems that can intercept and take out cruise and ballistic missiles. Even though the ships are far bigger than their Saar 5 counterparts, they amazingly show up as way smaller than they are on radar systems. This is because rapid advancements in stealth technology have allowed for this to be possible, meaning an enemy won't know the true size of the Saar 6 warships until they're right on top of them. The Saar 6 class corvettes were crafted with a primary objective: safeguarding Israel's offshore natural gas supply. Discovered in the early 2000s, this resource now constitutes over 70% of Israel's electricity. Anticipating the need, a team of 10 accomplished Israeli engineers was sent to Germany 5 years before the ship's debut. Their mission was to design advanced vessels tailored for the defense of Israel's waters. Upon their arrival in late 2020 from ThyssenKrupp in Germany, where they were meticulously constructed, the warships were initially limited to sailing capabilities. Unfortunately, at that point, they fell short of being fully equipped for the critical task of defending Israel and its waters. Usually, converting a ship for combat in the modern era can be a very time-consuming process. But the Israeli Navy was able to do this for 3 of the 4 Saar 6 warships and declare their operation in just over 2 years. In comparison, it took the ship's predecessors, the Saar 5 warships, 10 years to be fully ready for operations, 5 times as long. The ships are manned by 80 crew members each, and the 4 that are currently on the high seas are called the INS Magen, meaning shield, Oz, meaning valor, Atzmaut, meaning independence, and Nitzahon, meaning victory. USS Zumwalt. One of the prides of the U.S. Navy fleet is the USS Zumwalt, one of the newest and most advanced ships out there. Classed as a destroyer, the Zumwalt is considered to be the most technologically advanced surface-based machine in the world. So what makes the USS Zumwalt so special? The ship has a fully electric propulsion system, which is at the cutting edge of technology of this kind. While other ships might have to rely on diesel or even nuclear power in the case of older vessels, the USS Zumwalt is fully prepared for the future and cutting down on the use of fossil fuels as stores start to deplete. The integrated power systems on board also allow the USS Zumwalt to be able to power its propulsion, service, and combat systems from the same source, optimizing energy usage so that it can use some of the best high-energy weapons and sensors on the market, both now and in the future. It also has a tumble-home hull, which allows it to cut and pierce through even the toughest waves like butter. Not only that, but thanks to its composite structure, it can reduce the cross-section of the ship and its noise to make it much harder for enemy ships to detect it. It also means that it can be operated by just 175 crew members, with only 28 needed as an air detachment, reducing running costs and the need to cycle out staff as frequently. When it comes to the tech on board, the USS Zumwalt has some impressive kit. It has a multifunction radar and advanced gun systems that can fire long-range land attack projectiles with a powerful range of up to 63 nautical miles. And to put that into perspective, this is over 3 times more range than previous gun systems were capable of. The USS Zumwalt isn't alone though. There are 2 other ships in its DDG class. The Zumwalt goes by DDG 1000 and is the first of the 3 ships. Construction on the destroyer began in February 2009, and 4 years later, in October 2013, it was launched and ready for testing. The second DDG ship, 1001, was named Michael Mansour, after a Navy SEAL who was awarded the Medal of Honor for his service and sacrifice in Iraq. DDG 1002 was named Lyndon B. Johnson, continuing a trend of honoring the 36th President of the United States by placing his name onto various vessels within the U.S. Navy, as is the case with other presidents before and after him. The advanced technologies in the DDG-1000 class make it versatile and capable of carrying out various tasks close to the shore, including land attacks. Its ability to handle different missions and operate in coastal areas make it a valuable asset in the U.S. Navy's arsenal. Sejong the Great class. South Korea proudly features one of the world's most formidable classes of destroyer warships, the Sejong the Great class, standing out as an epitome of naval prowess. These advanced warships play a pivotal role in safeguarding South Korea's air, sea, and land defenses, marking a crucial component of the nation's military strength. The vessels were developed under the KDX-3 program, which took inspiration from the U.S. Navy's Arleigh Burke class and the Japanese Atago class of destroyers. And as you would expect, this also means that they share many common characteristics in terms of their components used during construction. However, there are still differences between them, which help the Sejong the Great class to excel above the others. For example, the Sejong the Great class destroyers are significantly heavier, with an 11,000-ton displacement when at full combat capacity. This is mainly because many parts of the ship, such as its hull, bulkhead, decks, and hatches, are made primarily out of steel. The structure also makes it bigger, as it has a wider flare in its hull and is generally bulkier overall. Amazingly, for their power and technological prowess, the Sejong the Great class of destroyers are surprisingly cheap to buy, at least by current military standards. Each ship in the class costs approximately $923 million, the lowest cost on any Aegis-type destroyers out there. This is due to the Sejong the Great destroyers mainly using technologies that are already fully developed, allowing them to have the very best of the currently available systems and processes on board immediately without further adjustments and additions needed. The Sejong the Great class has 2 radars, 2 sets of sonars, and a Sejong Infrared Search and Track System, IRST. These technologies give the destroyers an amazing sense of what's potentially around them, helping them to distinguish friend from foe and react quickly by using passive systems to constantly search for threats on the water. These destroyers can reach a maximum speed of 30 knots on the water, although their average speed is around 20 knots. Given this average speed, the Sejong the Great class has a range of 5,500 miles, enough to patrol nearby oceans and channels with ease. And with its 2 rudders, its maneuverability is unmatched, giving it a small turning circle to easily face its attackers or targets. In terms of armament, this class of destroyers has one of the biggest arsenals at its disposal. The missile system on the Sejong the Great class is extremely impressive. Besides the 21-cell ram launcher and the 16 Hyunmood 3 anti-ship missiles, it can carry a whopping 128 missiles in 3 different launch cell pads. There's one in the front with 48 cells, one in the back with 32 cells, and another in the aft with 48 cells. This is a much bigger number of missiles compared to the 96 cells on board the Arleigh Burke class. The South Korean Navy doesn't just have one of these vessels, they have 3 of them. The first one is called DDG-991, Sejong the Great. The second one is DDG-992, Yulgok Yi-I, and the third, DDG-993, Soe Ryu Seongrong. All of them were named after high-ranking figures from the Joseon dynasty. And these 3 warships are expected to continue to prowl the seas until at least the mid to late 2030s. The USS Ted Stevens. One of the newest additions to the U.S. Navy's fleet is the USS Ted Stevens. Going under the hull number of DDG-128, it's a member of the Flight 3 Arleigh Burke class of destroyers. It's been fully kitted out with the very latest in technology available for naval warfare, including advanced software and radar, and the best offensive and defensive weapons arsenal, including those intended for anti-submarine combat. And to stay safe, the USS Ted Stevens has a special armor made of Kevlar, as well as a steel hull. Its battery includes a 5-inch gun, a phalanx close-in weapon systems, machine guns, and missiles. The missile systems include a 32-cell and a 64-cell Mark 41 vertical launching system that holds various types of missiles. The ship also has torpedo tubes for keeping submarines at bay or neutralizing them. It's already considered to be the backbone of the fleet and one of the most powerful in the world, something which its commanding officer, Captain Mary Katie Hayes, is incredibly proud of. The ship is named after U.S. Senator Ted Stevens, who was the longest-serving Republican in the Senate for the state of Alaska from 1968 to 2009, a full 41 years. This is something that his family sees as a great honor, especially given the privilege involved in naming traditions for the country's warships. The USS Ted Stevens is 510 feet long and 66 feet wide and has a displacement of 9,217 tons when it's fully loaded. The ship is powered by 4 General Electric LM2500 gas turbines, giving it a top speed of 31 knots. When fully commissioned and in working capacity, around 380 officers and enlisted personnel will work on board. Although it's currently not in active service, it's predicted that the USS Ted Stevens will be fully commissioned sometime in 2024. HMS Dauntless. HMS Dauntless has been in active service in the UK's Royal Navy since 2010, but it still remains one of the most advanced and deadly warships out there. This is thanks to the ship recently undergoing a Power Improvement Program, or PIP, which further added resilience and functionality to our engines, as well as the power generation to our weapons. The technology on board the ship was also updated, keeping them at the cutting edge of operations. After intensive training for her crew on the new improvements and to keep them battle-ready, their commanding officer, Commander Ben Power, and those on board were raring to go again and patrol the seas. The HMS Dauntless has solidified its reputation as a formidable force during its impressive 13 years of service. Presently engaged in a critical role around the Caribbean, it actively contributes to combating drug trafficking in the region's waters. Additionally, the vessel stands ready for swift rescue and aid operations, which are particularly crucial during the turbulent hurricane season spanning from June to November. As recently as November 2023, the HMS Dauntless managed to intercept a 35-foot speedboat in the Caribbean Sea. The ship deployed its Wildcat helicopter and a team of Royal Marine snipers to approach this suspicious boat. As the smugglers started getting rid of their illegal cargo, the snipers skillfully disabled their engines, causing the boat to come to a sudden stop. With the boat immobilized, a team from the U.S. Coast Guard was sent from the Dauntless to seize 11 large bundles of cocaine, weighing a total of 727 pounds and holding a value of $75 million. This isn't the only drug bust that the HMS Dauntless has been involved in, and to date, the amount of illegal drugs it's managed to secure amounts to $252 million. Part of the daring class of destroyers, HMS Dauntless is also one of the very first to be equipped with and to use Sea Viper anti-aircraft missiles, which are capable of traveling at a crazy 18,000 miles per hour. The Kolkata class. The Kolkata class, also known as Project 15A, is a group of advanced guided missile destroyers used by the Indian Navy. These modern ships represent India's move towards having a powerful naval presence in the open sea. The Kolkata class consists of 3 ships, the INS Kolkata, INS Kochi, and INS Chennai, which are all named after coastal cities in India. Each ship is operated by a crew of 390 individuals and can carry 2 helicopters, either HAL Druve or Westland Sea King. They're armed with advanced weapons, including BrahMos, nuclear-capable supersonic cruise missiles, and Indo-Israeli jointly developed Barak 8 air defense missiles. Other features include anti-submarine rocket launchers, torpedoes, close-in weapon systems, machine guns, and a 76mm Otto Melara dual-purpose artillery gun. The vessels are equipped with electronic countermeasures, air search radar, AESA multifunction radar, bow sonar, towed array sonar, and an advanced combat management system. They're powered by a combined gas and gas propulsion system, reaching a speed of 30 knots. Project 15A began in 1986 as a follow-up to the Delhi class, and by the year 2000, a full 14 years since the announcement of the project, the Kolkata class underwent redesigning by the Directorate of Naval Design to incorporate modern stealth features, setting back its commissioning yet again. This wasn't the only holdup, though, as the lead ship, the INS Kolkata, faced a delay of 4 years due to technical issues discovered during sea trials. However, it was eventually commissioned in 2014. INS Kochi followed in 2015, and INS Chennai was commissioned in 2016. But the Kolkata class won't be the top dogs of the Indian Navy for very long. It's already been succeeded by the improved Visakhapatnam class destroyers, which share many features with their predecessors would offer increased stealth and automation. The Visakhapatnam class was commissioned in 2021 with a reduced crew of 300 and a focus on cost-effective production. With limited details on these new ships as they're currently being built, who knows what the future will hold for the most advanced warships out there. Which of these military ships do you think stands a cut above the rest? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.